But the part about man is in the forest is that apparently we have logged this place to death, killed all the elk.
I'm going to interrupt for the coyote or wolf or whatever it is over in the field. Yep.
We're at the visitor center of the Valles Caldera. And in the spirit of Wally Byam, we weren't actually sure if we were going to get here, but if he could take his Airstream all over the world, we could sure take it down this road to get to this visitor center.
So we're coming along New Mexico 4, which is a mountain road, curvy. Van was doing great and everything. And we turned into the sign here, and there's this really long dirt road down the hill. We used binoculars to see that there was actually a building down here. You were like, it seems kind of narrow. Should we take the Airstream or not? And I'm looking around and realizing we're either going down to the bottom to turn around in the parking lot, or I'm doing a 42-point turn at the top to get back out of here. So yes, in the spirit of Wally Byam, we said, let's go. And we did it. And
it was just fine. It's probably about a mile or so road down in here to the bottom. And luckily I saw a lot of cars coming up, so I knew that we actually were going in the right direction. And I could tell that there was a pretty large parking lot. And there is. It's all dirt. At various times you'd have to be careful because there might be water over the road and it might be muddy. But we did it, and we're going to make it back. And I'm so glad that we came down here.
There's a couple spots in the road where you might have to pull over if your rig's a little larger, just to get out of the way. For they say you're supposed to yield to uphill traffic because it's a pretty good hill getting out of here. So keep that in mind. But yeah, we got a few strange looks on the way down. I wondered if people wondered if we shouldn't be doing this. But then we got to the bottom and there's a sign that says RV parking this way. So yeah, we're not the first crazies to do this. Clear-cut logging removed almost all old growth trees. You want to know the worst part? That happened from 1963 to 1971. We always talk about in the 1800s they didn't know any better.
Here's Ari reading us facts about why man is bad and why we should just let nature take over.
So it's really difficult to put this into words, but we're at Valles Caldera, I think is how you say that word. We're essentially walking through what was a volcano that erupted, collapsed, evacuated, and we're walking around a smaller volcano, and then around us are other volcanoes and mountain ridges that came up after the initial volcano exploded. It's kind of mind-boggling, but it's fascinating and beautiful.
But the part about man is in the forest is that apparently we have logged this place to death, killed all the elk.
I'm going to interrupt for the coyote or wolf or whatever it is over in the field.
Here. There's two of them.
Yep.
I'm going to take the binoculars.
Maybe I was able to zoom in on that and show you, but anyway, there's two coyotes out in that field. And that's just also breathtaking. It's cool just to see nature. This is actually a national preserve. So throughout this whole preserve, there's all kinds of opportunities for fishing, camping, hiking. They let you use this, but the ranger was telling us that this area here for the trails, they only allow 35 permits per day. So if you're here in the summer when it's busy, you have to think about that. You need to think about reserving online before you get out here. The permits are based on per vehicle, not per person. So if you had more people in one vehicle, you could get more in here. But yeah, only 35 permits per day, and then they shut it down. And I'm assuming it's because to try to preserve some of this and some of the trails that are out here.
He got dinner. I don't know what dinner was, but he's eating it.
And there's Jesse reporting on the coyote hunting.
Well, he was successful. Whatever he got, he ate it.
Another reason you say always bring binoculars.
Yes. They said they were, they usually hunt prairie dogs. I don't know if they're hunting something else, but that's what's out here.
Oh yeah, because there's a ton of prairie dogs, especially as you're out by the ranger station, starting out on this one trail around the small volcano. There's a ton of prairie dogs to see.
So before I was distracted by the coyotes, I was talking about man is in the forest. And I'm not sure where I left off, but essentially this place used to be a cattle ranch, a working cattle ranch. And there's a lot of leftover cabins from that. And apparently some TV series was filmed here that I don't know about, but everybody else does. But as part of all of that, they have, let's see, I ran through the part where, they killed all the elk, they cut down all the trees. Then there was a wildfire because they'd cut down the trees, and so it burned a lot of the land. And what else did we say?
They overgrazed it.
They overgrazed it because of the cattle. Then there was a flood, and basically a lot of things before the National Park Service was able to come in here and take it over and preserve it. So that's why they limit it to 35 vehicles a day, because it's a pretty protected and very special place. This is a far cry from like a week ago when I was in a tank top and shorts and it was 90 degrees in Florida.
Well, apparently there's been a lot of flooding because the mountain road that we took up here, New Mexico 4, the ranger asked if we'd had any water over the road, and we didn't. But he was telling somebody that they normally get 2 to 3 feet of snow in here, and this year they had 5 feet. So that's why there's been so much runoff and flooding.
That's not very much, actually. That's it? Only 5 feet?
So if you're ever in New Mexico, between Albuquerque and Santa Fe runs New Mexico State Highway 4, and you have to have a rig that can do it. That's going to be if you have an RV or you're going to haul a trailer, because it's a pretty good climb. Gets up to about, 8,500 feet? But it is a beautiful road through the mountains, and you go right by this amazing section.
Beautiful does not even begin to describe it. I would use more like spectacular, amazing, coolest thing you're gonna see in your life. Maybe not, but pretty darn close. Just as you said, as you start climbing from like 6,000 to 8,000 something, and you're just going between the mountains on either side of you, the red rock and the water. We went by the river at some point, and because the snow was melting, it was really fast rushing, and oh my gosh, but just those mountains, it was so cool. And that's not even what we thought we were going to see on that road, so it was even more spectacular because it was such a surprise.
And this Valles Caldera is along New Mexico 4. On the Albuquerque side, you've got Petroglyph National Monument, and as you come out of here, there's Bandelier National Monument. So this is a really good route. I would recommend it to people. Get here if you can.
I'm going to stop you right there, though. There is nothing between Albuquerque and here, though, other than the Pueblos, and you cannot stop there because they're the private or Pueblos. Those are private and you cannot go there. So we didn't find really like any place. I think there was a couple places where you could stop, and maybe in the summer there might be portable toilets or vault toilets, but we're not even really sure. But just plan on going to the bathroom at each end before you stop, and make sure you have plenty of gas, because that's a pretty long road and there's just really nothing in between as far as amenities are concerned.
Including cell service.
Oh yes, none. Like none. I had none.
Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, we had none of it. So but it's a
be
really
prepared.
Be prepared. It's a really nice view. Get there if you can. Keep on trekking.
And we'll see you out there.